Hi, good evening everyone. Tonight in this video we are going to discuss about long distance relationship. Are you in a long distance relationship? What is the status of your relationship at this time? Well, tonight I am going to talk about and give you some tips on how to overcome a long distance relationship with your boyfriends, with your husbands, your partner in life. Because I also experienced a long distance relationship before I come here to Canada. And you know what? It's been more than 10 years I experienced a long distance relationship with my husband. So let's talk about this, okay? I have been, or I'm also experiencing a long distance relationship for more than 10 years. Before I came here in Canada, me and my husband encounter a long distance or, experiencing also a long distance relationship. And take note, we'd been in an LDR for more than 10 years. So imagine how long we are far from each other. So, how did we overcome this long distance relationship? Why our relationship become successful and why until that, you know, long years that we're far, why we're still okay and why we're still successful and being with until we've been together. So, the situation for me and for him is that he was working in a remote place here in Canada. He was working for his job was in a school or a band in a First Nation people, which is in a remote area, and it's so far from the city. You need to fly on a plane in order to go there. It's hard because you cannot drive a car, but rather you're going to fly through an airplane or a plane. So that's why he didn't want to pick me up. And we married 2007 of July 27. So after that we got married. So he went back here in Canada, and then he just visited me every year, and there are times that he missed a year to come to the Philippines because sometimes of the uncontrolled situation in his job. So that's our situation for that more than 10 years of being far from each being apart from each other. So until that 2007 to 2017, what did we do in order for our relationship to be successful? So these are the tips that we used in order to have a good relationship despite of the fact that we are far with each other. So first thing first is we always communicate every day. So communication is very important to a long distance relationship together with your husband, your boyfriends, or your partners. Communication. So every day, if possible, every day you always talk to your husband or to your wife. Not only husband, but to your wife, right? Because through communication, the relationship, the bonding, it's still like we're together, that we are with each other. We're close, we're not really far. So communication is important in our long distance relationship. He always called me every day, like during lunchtime and in the evening. So those are the ways that we did. If not chatting, he always called me. So that's what we did in our more than 10 years of being far from each other, calling every day. So on every weekend, that's our long time to be chatting and having video call. And it took a while for us because during weekdays, we're working, I was working, and our time is different. So he only called me during lunchtime, that's my break, lunch break, and in the evening. So communication is important. And aside from that is to trust our partners. trusting them is really important. Do not think negative as long as you don't feel something different, or observe them differently. So you trust them. Always remind them that you, as a partner, as a husband, as a wife, you trust them, that you believe in them. Because if they have you don't have the trust, then sometimes our partners will not trust us. So you always remind them that trust to each other is important. So aside from communication every day, our trust to each other is also important. Third one is being honest. So whatever problems, whatever uh, things that you wanted to talk, you wanted to tell, uh, or express to your partner, say it. Don't hesitate. Don't hide it to yourself. Because if you don't want to express it, then you will feel regret on it. You will regret, and you will be, hurdle it by yourself, or bear it into yourself, and it's like it's a heavy part on you, right? So whatever things you want to tell to your husband, speak it out. Do not hide it. You have the time, you have freedom to speak it. So whether it hurts him or her, or whether it hurts your relationship, just tell him or her what you have in your mind and what you have in your heart, because being honest is really important too in a relationship. Do not hide anything. For me, in my relationship, when I was still studying in my doctoral in Tacloban, I always told my husband who are my friends, where should I go, where we're supposed to go with our friends, and what were our plans. And sometimes he booked me in a hotel, and I always told him that my friends will stay with me, and in that hotel, is it okay to you? So you need to tell him everything, even it's like kind of corny or OA, but that's the important thing. Tell him or her what are the things you are going to do and say. If you want to surprise, then don't tell him or her, okay? But if it's for your own good, for your own relationships, then be honest everything what you are doing, okay? And aside from being honest and to trust and to have communication, is you need to give time as well. It is also important, because time is needed in a long distance relationship. No matter how busy we are, we always give time to our loved ones, because that's the only thing, what it's one of the thing that we need in a long distance relationship. Because if you keep on yourself busy with your works or whatever, then the relationship might be, not probably in a state of not good. So you always have time to your partner, because she always told me that why my husband is having a time for me to talk, even to call me, although we have different time, why her boyfriend or husband has no had no time for her to call, where in fact we're in the same situation. You have the break, you have off, and then why you don't have time to call your girlfriend or your wife? So let's also give time to our relationship, to be with our loved ones, because that is in need of in a long distance relationship. And the last one is to pray God that this relationship that we are experiencing, even we are far, we have the patience, and we trust God that He always guide us no matter how far we are. He will make He will do everything for us. So that's what I feel, when with my relationship with me and my husband Terry being far with each other. We're still together after being more than 10 years of, you know, being far with each other. Sometimes people ask me or tell me, "Oh, why don't you find any other, boys or find another boyfriends? Your husband is far away and then far from you, and how did he knows about about your relationship, about your whereabouts here?" And I said, "Oh my God, I don't want to do that because he's very honest to me. He's doing good and he's telling me everything, and why I'm doing that, and he's doing that to me as well." So that's why I did not do that, because I was afraid that what if he also do that to me? You know what I mean? So to be fair, you always be honest to your relationship. So those are the things that I did or we followed in our relationship. Maybe because I'm kind of religious person too. I always scared to make bad or being unfaithful to my relationship with my husband, especially that we are married already. you know so my dear friends, do not be doubtful with your relationship. Always pray to God that he will bless your relationship, no matter how far you are, um, whatever trials that you encounter in your relationship. Always trust to God, because in my relationship with those 10 years of being far, I also encounter a lots of trials and temptations, but God is so good, and I always pray to God. Then we overcome it. Then what happened now? We're together. So I do believe also that patience is virtue. So it's also one important there is being patient. That one day you will be together. So if you have the patience, then I do believe that God will make things possible with your relationship. So it is really important to have also patience. So ladies and gentlemen, it is really important to follow those tips. If you have your own ways as well, it is better. But on my own experience, that being in a long distance relationship for more than 10 years, those are the tips, those are the things that I did. First is we always have open to each other, like open communication every day is important. The second one is to trust him and to trust me. That I don't, trusting is with each other is also important. Believing in him and being honest. So being honest is also important in a long distance relationship. It is really important. We do not hide anything towards our partners or our husbands or our boyfriends or girlfriends. We always tell them the truth. We always tell them what we are doing right now. We always tell them our plans. So do not hide, do not keep it to yourself, because as you remember, if you hide something, especially that which is not good to your relationship, it will still appear, or because there is no secrets that can be hidden. So be honest to each other. And of course, give time as well. No matter how busy we are, there's always a time for us to our loved ones. So during our day off, during our break, give time to call, to text, to message them or her or him that we're okay. We can't do a long talks or long chats because your situation at work. So in that way they will understand you. So give time to your relationship. And of course, to trust God above all, because in him he knows everything what he wants to our relationship. So that's what makes our relationship successful, because I always follow those tips. So now, after 10 years, or let's say 12 years, I arrived here in Canada last 2018. Imagine 2000 We got married 2008 or 2007, and then I just arrived in 2018. So it's really, really an amazing situation for me and for my husband. That long distance relationship will be possible no matter how long it is if you follow those steps, especially praying God. He provides everything. He helps everything to your relationship to become successful. So I hope, my friends, you are going to do those things that I said to you because it's proven and tested to me as experiencing a long distance relationship. So, my dear friends, and to you guys who are experiencing a long distance relationship, I hope you have also a wonderful or successful relationship. It might happen this time, but it will come in a right time. Just trust to God and pray to God, and all those things that I mentioned, how to have a good what to do if you are experiencing the long distance relationship, then I'm pretty sure you might have a good relationship. So that's all, and thank you so much for listening it. You can comment your what can you say about my, if you can add something, you can suggest something, then the comment section is on the bottom, so don't hesitate as well. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, thank you and God bless.